Hello, my loves. This is KloverDancer, and you are listening to The Art of a Woman. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is my little corner of the world where I get an opportunity to talk about all things women, sensual, passion, all topics, all in the name of women empowerment and sensuality. And I am here, not only here in YouTube form, but also on VG Radio right now. And you can stream them, vgradio.com. Wonderful platform that actually got the Art of the Woman started in the first place. So big, huge love to the family of VG Radio. I've covered so many things in my time with VG Radio. I think I did about 30 episodes. So I will be backtracking on a little bit of that, give you a little bit of an idea of who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I am KloverDancer. I am an Instagram model, modeling nylon fashion in legs. It's a very interesting story of how it all came to be. Didn't grow up, crazy into nylons. As I stated in my last video, I am a former classically trained ballet dancer, so I was used to very much having to wear tights and things over my legs all the time. So this is nothing new. I guess just a quick, I'll take you through how it all came to be, and then we can get to talking about nylons. Actually, my two top favorite nylons that I like to wear on an everyday basis. So during the pandemic, I was teaching dance. I was teaching everything from ballet to jazz, all sorts of things. And when the pandemic hit, I didn't have an artistic outlet anymore. And so my children's father, he was a photographer, and definitely as our kids were growing up, I watched him work with lighting. I watched him, stage and clear space and do all the things in order to, make it look like a clean shot. And so I learned a lot of the tricks because he was also had a degree in photography. So I learned a lot from him during our time together. And when the pandemic happened, whereas some people chose to veg out and just let the world go by, which however you spent it is definitely, there's no judgment here at all. For me personally, I took that time and instead just became crazy into fitness. I decided I wanted to lose all the baby weight from my last child, which he at that time was 4. I just wanted to embrace better physicality and embrace my body and feel sexy again, so that when the world did open up, I could feel like I was coming out with, something to show off. So that, along with, just realizing all my life I had always been complimented on my legs. I was just sitting at the kitchen table one night, and I just took my phone and just snapped a couple pictures. I was like, that looks good. And then I went on Instagram, and I don't know what made me do it. I just did a hashtag of leg fetish, and the whole world opened up to me. I was like, oh, I could be posting myself here. And I just saw all these women and these beautiful legs and people who loved it. It's always an interesting thing. I tell people, in this world that we live in now, where men have a very this sort of huge deception with big butts and BBLs and things like that. And then obviously there was the big tit craze. I've always been grateful whenever I find someone who's like, I like legs. Give me legs all day. So I'm like, guess what? That's the one thing that I have all day is legs. So I forgot to mention that if you are watching this on YouTube, you are getting privy to the dangle cam, which that is a whole nother world that I'll tap on certainly at some point. But anyways, men having leg fetishes was always very huge for me. And so when I discovered that a world exists where everyone comes together and likes that, I was like, sign me up, right? So that is how I was born. And I started off with just bare legs because, again, it was just about legs. It wasn't about anything else. But I kept Amazon busy. Amazon and some secrets, I forget what brand. It was crazy overpriced for stuff that I would only wear just to take a picture in and did nothing else with it. But I started ordering up all this lingerie, and some of the lingerie started coming with stockings and garters and things like that. So I started taking more and more pictures with that, and then the nylon lovers really started coming through and saying, "Hey, that's sexy. That's hot. Could you wear these nylons? Could you wear these nylons? These, and could you wear these nylons, or could you wear these nylons?" And before I knew it, I was being introduced to nylons that I had never ever heard about. I just only knew legs that you get, in the pharmacy, like that I would get like in a pinch if I needed something had a run, or I needed something really quick and I didn't want to look, well, I'm from the 80s, so back in those days, if you had bare legs, it made it seem as if you were loose or you were fast. A prime and proper lady always wore nylons. So, if I see myself step out of the house and I'd be like, oh, what would the people think with me showing up with my bare legs? So I would stop and run in, to the pharmacy and grab a quick set and put those on. That's all I knew. It wasn't until a really wonderful follower friend gifted me a box, and I do mean a box of nylons. And this had Wolfords and CDRs and Secrets and Lace, all these amazing brands that I had never ever heard of before. And I was sold, which that leads me to the whole point of this talk. So that's my backstory. That's how I came to be into nylons. Now, people do ask me, do you really like nylons? Yes, I do really like nylons. I love how they look. Okay. I love how they feel, especially now that I've experienced luxury. I love it. But the one thing that I always tell everyone, it's like, if it's summertime and if I have an opportunity to be bare, I love my bare legs too. Okay. I don't ever want to burst anybody's bubble into thinking that I go to sleep in nylons and I take showers in nylons and I go to swimming pools in nylons. I understand the fantasy, and at some point I'm sure I'll have fun making some content with that, just to, I have done bathtub in nylons for a custom order. But I like nylons. And I love them, actually. I love good nylons. So that brings me to the whole point of this today's podcast, which is about my two tops. Now, an honorable mention will certainly go to Sony Panda. I am a brand ambassador for her, and I actually have the first set that she had sent me was some stockings, nude colored stockings, and I still wear them to this day. Unfortunately, I was a little time crunched. I couldn't grab them. I had these readily accessible, but do check out her brand. Beautiful, amazing young lady in the UK that is gender inclusive. It's just all sex positivity. It's a beautiful brand. And she puts out some really amazing, diverse types of nylons. So please do give her a look. But these two that I'm going to talk about are my go-tos that I like to keep. And again, because my follower friend spoiled me, these are what I like to go. And those are Wolfords and CDRs. So I will start with the CDRs because they were the first that I got a chance to enjoy and be able to dive into. And what I love about them, it is just the sheen is just like no other, and the durability. They have a wonderful, wonderful fit. These right here that I am showing, these are crotchless. I will be honest, not a huge fan of their crotchless model, only because they have this ribbed lining around it. and it tends to chafe me. I have thicker thighs. It's just my anatomy. I have thick thighs. So even no matter how much weight I lose, my thighs are always going to come together. And so it just doesn't work well with my anatomy. But other than that, I love the stretch in it. I love the sheen. The sheen is there's just nothing else like it. It actually, no, there is another brand that I'll have to remember that has like an oil sheen. That is just, I mean, even when you just rub it, it's like, love those. So obviously I have a lot more nylons to dig into. So, but these are just my top two. CDRs, which is Cecilia de Raphael's. I'm so sorry. I say that, and then other people are just like, what are you talking about? I'm like, CDRs, like, industry lingo. You don't know? Sorry. But then next up is Wolford's. Oh my God. Now, where all other nylon brands are, I would say, in a more affordable range, Wolford's are just expensive. They just are, and they are rightfully so. From the how it grips you at the top to the seamlessness of it. It doesn't even have a crotch. There's like no cotton crotch or anything like that. There's no there's nothing. The only thing you got is just around the toes and the stretch that it has. Now this for me is more of a practical day-to-day, not trying to be over the top, just office wear, going out on a date, going out for an afternoon, like it's just a everyday wear type of nylon set of pantyhose. And they're durable. I don't think I've gotten a run in any of my Wolfords, except for like if it was like I really, really, stuck a nail through. But outside of that, these babies are durable. Okay, they are worth every single penny. They outlast and outlive anything that's like a third of the cost. This is quality, and they are by far my most favorite. My favorite go-tos, black Wolfords, through and through. If you were to ever see me out on any given day, just palling around, I'm wearing Wolfords. So yes, these are my top two, Wolfords and Cecilia de Raphael's, and honorary mention of Sony Panda. So I'd be curious to see what you guys say, what you're interested in, what you'd like to see. Also, too, I'm showcasing black nylons. Obviously, there's nude. These ones that I'm wearing are CDRs, and I think these are Inferno, but these are a lot thicker. So, but they're also warm. It's great for winter. Like I've been getting a lot of follower friends coming into my DMs wanting to see more sheer, and I realized that it's a sign of the times. Us models are sort of going to our nice warmer tights instead of modeling the sheer. So sorry guys. I'll get some shears on at some point when I don't have to freeze my legs off in order to make content for you guys. But color wise, I love all the colors. As you see, this one is not necessarily nude for me. It's blonde. And it's so funny because people will see the blonde and they'll say, oh, your white tights look so great. And I'm just like, I don't see how you see that as white, but we all have different color perception. I get it. Also, to being a black model, wearing nylons, it's also to just a whole nother interesting dynamic level to it. So I get it. But I'd love to know, what colors do you like? What brands do you like? What's your flavor? Do you like pantyhose or do you prefer stockings? I am going to be doing an episode on that as well. I love talking about pantyhose versus stockings. It's actually one of my favorite. I could talk about that all the time, but I don't really have people in person to talk about that with. But I have you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm KloverDancer, and this is The Art of a Woman. I can't wait to have you back next week. Please do leave comments. Tell me what you like to see, what you like to see me talk about. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to spend with me. And if you're listening on VG Radio, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, VG Radio fam, for having me. And don't forget over there, you deserve the best because you're worth it. You guys all have a wonderful week. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you like to see, what you like. I can't wait to see it. Love you guys.